Hey everybody, let me tell you a story about a guy named Joe Green. Joe Green was roommates with another person that you've probably heard of, and that's Mark Zuckerberg when they were roommates in, I believe it was Yale. And they had an idea of doing a software thing online called Face Mash, and it didn't go over well. In fact, they got in trouble with the university. They ended up having to disband that. Later on, Mark had another idea, and he came back to his friend Joe, and he said, "Hey, Joe, I got a better idea. Let's kind of change that whole Face Mash thing, and let's change it into Facebook, and let's try that. I'll give you 6% of everything that I make off of this." And Joe talked to his dad, and his dad was also a professor, and his dad said, you just need to stay away from that Zuckerberg guy. I wouldn't get involved with anything more like that. So Joe said no, and he missed out on probably billions of dollars. Now, don't feel bad for Joe. He's done very well for himself later, but he missed a golden opportunity. Have you ever missed opportunities? You know what I'm talking about. Those times when you think, oh, I should have done this, or I wish I had done that, or I could have done this. Missed opportunities are really tough. This week and the next couple of weeks, we're going to continue talking about love and the power of love. Last week we talked about love and leadership, and we're kind of going through an acronym of leadership, opportunities, value, and expression. And last week, as I said, we talked about of leadership. John Maxwell says all of us are leaders, and everybody is only as good as those people that are leading them. We have an opportunity as leaders to show other people love. And that doesn't just mean leaders if we're in business, but that could be leaders in our relationships, in our friendships, our families, our jobs, whatever it is. We can be a leader in the area of love. But tonight we're going to talk about another area of love, or another area where we can show love, and that is in not missing opportunities to love. Jesus talked about love a lot. You know that. And we talked about this verse last week. John 15:12 and 13 says, "This is my commandment, love each other the same way I've loved you. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for his friends." I don't remember a time in the Gospels where Jesus actually said, "I love you." Ever thought of that? He never really told anybody, "I love you," but he said to the Father, "I've loved them." I don't remember him saying, "I love you" to the disciples, but they knew he loved them because of what he showed them in life. He never missed an opportunity to show them love. Paul talked about love a lot too. Romans 15:12 says this: "We should help others and do what is right and build them up in the Lord." Our opportunities are opportunities to build each other up, to show them what the Lord is right. Lord is like. He writes later on in Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, "Share each other's burdens, and this way obey the law of Christ." What's the law of Christ? We just read it. This new commandment, new law that I give you is to love one another. Paul is saying this is how you can fulfill the law of Christ. This is how you can love other people, by sharing each other's burdens. And later on, he writes in Philippians, he says, "Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble. Think of others as better than yourselves." If you show other people, if you take the opportunity to show other people love, it means that every opportunity you get, you're showing that you feel better. They are better than you. And then later on in Colossians, he writes and he says, "Make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others." These verses are just so vital to how we should treat other people. Love is so vitally important. We see in our culture all the time now, we see all the hatred. Another mass shooting the other night, another police officer in my area that was killed last week. Just so much hate, so much bitterness, so much lack of respect for life. We just don't love each other. We're bent on hate, and we should, as Christians, always remember to take those opportunities that we have to show other people love. So how can we do that? Let me give you a few ideas, because loving is not an option in the Christian life. Loving is a command, as I said earlier. So first of all, we need to learn how we can lighten each other's loads. That might mean something as simple as if you're walking out a door and you see somebody with an armful of groceries or something, they hold the door open for them. Or if you see somebody struggling in some way, whether it be somebody you know or not, doing what you can to help them and to just lighten their load a little. Or maybe it's just not a physical lightening of the load, but maybe it's an emotional lightening of the load. A simple smile can mean a lot for people. Just saying thank you and please, just saying hello. Now sometimes lately that gets a little creepy because some people don't like to be talked to, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean you can't just say, I love you, or not I love you, but hello, and smile, tell them to have a great day. Even if it's somebody, if you're in a grocery store and the clerk is crabby, or you're at a restaurant and the server is crabby, still say thank you. Still tell them to have a great day, because obviously if they're crabby, they're not having a great day, and maybe you can help them out that way. The other thing that we can do is to follow through on our actions rather than saying something to somebody that's going through a real struggle. Let me know if I can do anything for you. Just maybe make it an order of, rather than let me know if I can do anything for you, of I'm coming over tomorrow, we're taking a walk together, and we're just going to go out and try and forget things. We're going to go out for a cup of coffee. I'll meet you at a coffee shop at such and such a time. Take those opportunities and use them to build love in other people. The other thing is grace. Extend grace. Think about it. Jesus gave you grace, and you didn't deserve it. When you were at your worst, Jesus loved you his best. Make allowances for people's shortcomings. You know what? If you haven't noticed it, people are not perfect. In fact, some people are way farther than perfect than we like. But still extend grace to them, whatever that means. Don't put yourself in danger. Don't allow yourself to be abused. But if you can bear their burdens, if you can overlook some of their faults, maybe you have a friend that is always talking and always negative, and you just don't even want to hang out with them. Hang out with them anyway, but maybe just try to always steer the conversation to positive. Extending grace means that we reach out to those people that we don't like. You see, showing love is easy to people that we like and easy on the good days. When you're in a good mood, it's a lot easier to smile and say hi and thank you and please to people. But when you're crabby, it's not easy. But not missing opportunities means that we show people our love regardless of how we feel. And the last thing is build each other up. Words can either destroy or build somebody up. Actions can either destroy or build somebody up. True love means that we take every opportunity that we can to show other people love through how we treat them, through the words we say. The bad part about words and actions too, but I think more so with words, is a mean word, an inappropriate word to somebody can't be taken back. Even if you ask them to forgive you and they do, that hurt is still there. So be careful on how we say things. Try to be positive in everything that you say. Kind of like what my mom used to say to me: if you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything about them. Be always working on building each other up, not always being so negative. We don't need any more Karens in the world. We don't need any more Debbie Downers in the world. The world's got plenty of those. For those of us that love Jesus, we should be the ones that are building each other up in what we say and in our actions. Never allow those things to keep us from missing those opportunities that God has for us. So let me encourage you this week as we go from here into the work and beyond, is to do something I like to call them God sightings. I think sometimes we miss those opportunities because we're really not looking for them. So try to get into a mindset in which you are focusing on, what can I do to show somebody kindness? What can I do to show somebody love? And do it in such a way where you're always looking, paying attention to your surroundings, paying attention to what other people are like. So many people, I notice when I'm in like a mall or something, so many people walk with their heads down. They don't establish eye contact. You can't see opportunities to show love if you've got your head down on the sidewalk. You can't see opportunities to show love if you're not looking at somebody and trying to figure them out. Watch their body language. Watch the struggle that they're having, and see if you can't do something to take that opportunity to show them love. That's what love is about. Love is about leadership. Love is about never missing an opportunity to show other people the love of Jesus. Let's have a word of prayer together. Lord Jesus, I thank you for loving me, because I am so unloving and I am so lovely. I make so many mistakes, but I thank you for loving me anyway. And I pray for anybody that might be struggling right now because of the abuse, verbally, physically, sexually, that they've experienced, and they're just having a tough time. I pray that we as believers might build them up in love. And I pray for anybody right now that is looking for opportunities to love. I just pray that you would help them to see ways in which they can build each other up, lighten each other's load, and just to extend grace to people. I pray these things in your name and just ask for your power upon us to love as you loved. Thank you so much for loving us. In your name, amen. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. If you have don't have a church to attend, love to have you attend. Attend Zion Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. We're live on Facebook or YouTube. Check us out, ZionLutheranBoneLake.org, and you can find us there. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week as we continue the next part of the LOVE acronym. We've talked about leadership. We've talked about opportunities. Next week, we're going to talk about ways in which we can show each other value. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.